Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm in the Carpathian Mountains. Actually came out to basically pick up my wife and my daughter and take them back to our house, but probably gonna spend a few days here. But let me show you my view out the window. So check this out. I'm staying at the hotel, and yes, I do know the owner now. Actually, my father knew him, but I was introduced to him yesterday. Check out the view out the window. It's just beautiful. And maybe I'll get to fly a drone today. If I do, I'll drop that footage under the next video, but we'll see. So let me tell you about the trip here, because as you remember, as I keep telling you, Ukraine is at war. So we were leaving. Today is actually what today is. Today is Saturday. So we were leaving on Thursday morning, and it was such, everything fell into place so insanely well that I couldn't have set it up better myself. So as we were leaving, we knew we had to go through town because I found a guy who sells drones. He actually lives about 5 hours away from where we live, to the northwest of us. And as we were about to leave town, I had to exchange dollars for Ukrainian currency. And it's not really favorable exchange rate, but I had to do it because he agreed to sell me one of his drones only either for Ukrainian currency or for euros. So I had to exchange the dollars. And as we pulled up to the exchange place, one of my military contacts called me and he said, "Hey, do you still want to sell your Autel Evo?" And I said, well, I said I would sell it to you guys and only to the military. And he said, there's a guy who wants to buy it and present it to the military as a gift from his company. So he dropped me the phone number of this guy, and I call him up and I'm like, yeah, where are you located? And he's like, Khmelnytsk, which is like 4 hours away from us. And he wanted to come to pick it up. And I'm like, hold up, I'm about to leave town, because I was already out of my house, but still in town. And I'm like, I'm all about to ready to leave town, and I have the drone with me. He's like, that's fantastic. Where are you going? And I said, well, I'm going to the Carpathian Mountains. And he's like, oh, that's awesome. You can we can meet somewhere along the way. So my father and we started driving these. I think it was like 300 kilometers to the southwest of us. So it was like, here we are, and we went this way, and the other guy with the drone was like this way. So we started driving, and along the way, I called them. I'm like, hey, there's a problem with gas. There's a gas shortage. Is there a way we can get filled up with diesel somewhere in Khmelnytsky? And he's like, yeah, we'll figure something out. Just get here. Because I basically saved him a 4-hour drive to my town to pick up the drone. So we get there, and he's like, yeah, I'll fill you up at the gas station. He has one of the gas cards for the businesses, which are really difficult to come by. So he filled us up with 50 liters of diesel. So that's about like 12 gallons, give or take, at basically prices, at like corporate prices. It was very good price. So he filled us up, and I gave him the drone, my Autel Evo, 9 new batteries, explained everything to him, told him to keep my number, and any consultations him or his buddies can call, and I'll consult him over the phone, anything regarding drones. So gave him the drone, got the cash. Now I had Ukrainian currency, so I didn't have to exchange the dollars anymore. I could go to the other guy and buy the drones. Trouble is, from where we were at, we had just driven like 4 or 5 hours. It was another 6-hour drive to the other guy. So we started driving to the other guy. So like we went here, now we had to go here. Actually, it was like not straight up. Was like almost the way we came, just a little basically northwest of us. And we get there about 7 p.m. and I basically shoot the shit with the guy for like 30 minutes while my father like goes to the bathroom. We met at the gas station. My father goes to the bathroom, like eats, drinks something. I had the coffee and a hot dog. I get the drone from him. Let me show you the drone I got. So these are my drones. That the bottom two are actually the ones I came to pick up here because I left them in the Carpathians. So bottom two are mine, and this is the drone I picked up from him. Yes, it's in the Mavic Enterprise case, but it's a Mavic 2 Pro. And I'll show you the reason I bought this drone in the first place for the very, very good price. So it's a Mavic 2 Pro in very, very good condition. He actually sold it to me with 3 batteries. I put the 3 batteries he sold to me into my Mavic Pro, which I'm selling right now, because they have like 40 to 65 cycles on them. And these are my batteries from my Mavic Pro, which have like less than 5 cycles on all of them. But this is the reason I got it, and I'll do another video just with this. I finally got myself a Smart Remote. This is the first gen, not the new one that comes out with the Mavic 3, but this one works with the Mavic 2 Pro. So basically, I got a really, really excellent deal on all of this, because I also got like 2 wall chargers, I got the hub, I got 2 car chargers, excellent deal. And I got the Enterprise case, which by itself is not cheap. And I also learned from this guy, because he constantly travels and purchases drones in Poland across the border. He told me that I will not be allowed to leave the country with a drone. So because drones right now are necessary for Ukrainian army, even I did choose to leave the Mavic 2 Pro for myself, I cannot leave the country with it while the war is going on. So I may keep the remote. I can leave the country with the Smart Remote, but I may sell the drone to the Ukrainian military. So right now I actually was searching for a regular remote for this drone so I can sell it as a package. And like throughout the call on in our chats, like, I need a remote for a Mavic 2 Pro. And one guy responded. Right now he's gonna find out how much the other guy wants to sell, like one of his friends wants to sell the remote for, because they had a complete setup, Mavic 2 Pro with the remote, but the remote got, the Mavic 2 Pro got shot out of the sky, so I'm guessing this guy is military. So I'm gonna see how much he wants to sell the remote for. Then I can hang on to the Smart Remote and sell the drone with a regular remote to the Ukrainian military. But that's only like half the story, because the cool thing is, well, when we left, let me continue the story like event by event. So when we left the guy, it was like close to 8 o'clock in the evening, and we're driving to Lviv, which is West Ukraine. And I'm like, and all of a sudden it hit us, you know, the war is still going on. What time is the curfew? Because nobody wants to be on the road when the curfew in effect, because you will basically be detained by the police unless you have a pass from like the governor of the region. And we still had to drive through like 3 more regions to get where we were going, and every region had a curfew in effect. So I looked up the curfew and I'm like, Dad, the curfew is in an hour, and we're like really close to Lviv. So we called the hotel that we know. We're like, how much is it gonna cost to stay there? They're like, oh, it's like $50 for the night. So I reserved the last room they have. Lucky, you know, like everything happens for a reason. And as soon as we get to the checkpoint before entering Lviv, we asked the cop at the checkpoint, like, what time is your curfew? He's like, well, it's 2200 hours. I'm like, holy, we got like half an hour to get to the hotel. He's like, that's fine. Basically, as long as you don't try to leave the region after 2200 hours, you should be fine. But again, we had 2 more regions to go through. So I'm like, you know, it's better for us to just, no matter how many cars we see on the road, we don't know who has a pass, who doesn't. We don't know who's going like 10 miles to their house, who doesn't. So we better just chill at the hotel and leave as soon as the curfew is over at 6 o'clock in the morning and keep driving. So we stopped at the hotel. The reception was perfect. I mean, honestly, in US, I haven't seen this good of a reception. And I worked in a hotel system in US. The girl said, yeah, I can't give you a discount even if you leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, which I knew she couldn't. because breakfast was included, but restaurant opened at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. Obviously, we're not going to eat breakfast, but she said, but what I can do is I can prepare you a boxed breakfast to take with you. And we're like, okay, let's just do this. We'll be hungry in the morning anyway. So we hit the sack. We fall asleep right away. It was like a really nice room with 2 single beds. Woke up 5 o'clock in the morning, got dressed, got ready, 6 o'clock. Actually, we woke up like at 5:30. 6 o'clock, we're out the door, get down to the reception. The same girl was still down there, very, very hospitable. She's like very smiling and all that stuff, even though it's 6 o'clock in the morning. And she gave us our boxed breakfast. We didn't even look at it. We saw like there were a couple apples in there, a couple sandwiches. So we drove probably for another 2 or 3 hours before we remembered about the breakfast. So we stopped, decided to eat breakfast. It was fantastic. The breakfast for a box breakfast was excellent. Each box, and we had 2 boxes, one for each of us. Each box had 2 chicken sandwiches with like apples and stuff and like special sauce. Each box had an apple, each box had a piece of cheesecake, and we also got like drinkable yogurt for each one of us. Before we left, she even made us fresh made coffee from the espresso machine. So it was like fantastic service. On booking, they're a 9.5 rated hotel in Ukraine, and it's well deserved. I mean, so we got here to the Carpathian Mount. Well, it's Transcarpathian region, but basically Carpathian Mountains. 10 o'clock in the morning, and today is the next day. So today is actually Saturday, and this morning I get a call from again. I consult everybody that needs consultation in Ukraine on drones. So this woman called me up about 4 days ago. She wants to purchase a drone. I guess 2 of her sons are at the front, and I consulted her for like an hour on the phone the other day, and she saw my post on Facebook because I said that just met the guy who can really provide. I'm actually very glad I met him because he can provide drones at excellent prices for the Ukrainian military. So she called me this morning. She's like, I saw your post. Do you know this guy? Can he get these kind of drones? And I said, yeah, well, I met him, but I know him literally for a day. But it just so happens that me and him know the same people in Ukraine that are into drones. He's a photographer. He's a professional photographer. Here's his website. Here's his Facebook page. Yada, yada, yada. It said everything about him. And she contacted him because she's looking for a Mavic 3 or Autel Evo Lite Plus. And I'm like, he can probably deliver them really fast, faster than I can, and at really good prices. So contact him. So she calls me back like in an hour, and she's like, can you vouch for him? Because I'm about to wire him like over $2,000 in cash, so he can send directly, not to me, but directly to the front. And I said, well, I know him literally for 2 days, but I don't see, because he's a professional photographer in Ukraine. We know the same people. And this is a very narrow circle in Ukraine, in drone community. Like everybody who's into drones knows everybody. I said, we know the same people. I don't see a reason for him to scam you out of your money during wartime, which, I mean, he can not just go to jail. He can get into a lot of trouble for scamming Ukrainian military during wartime. So I said, like, I don't see a reason for him to ruin his reputation, try to scam you out of $2,000 when it's his business to buy and sell drones. And right now he's doing that specifically to the Ukrainian military. So she's like, yeah, thank you. I know you can't take this great responsibility basically to vouch for him, but I gave her all the contact information, and I hope that everything's going to work out okay. She's not going to buy a drone from me. That's fine. Right now, the purpose is to get the drones into the hands of the soldiers that need them. So that's kind of where we stand right now. So right now, I got my drones here, and I'm going to sell 2 of them. One I'm going to keep for now, my new Mavic 2 Pro, because mine has a warning. It needs a front sensor replaced, but I can sell it to the Ukrainian military because they don't use sensors anyways. So this is a much better drone. It's already paired with the remote. So I'm keeping the drone on the smart remote. I'm adding my batteries to it, and I'm selling my drone, my remote, to the military right now for basically cost of the drone itself. So I'm not making any money on it, but I'm very happy because I got this drone with a smart remote at such a good deal. You can't even buy it. The price I bought it for at the current exchange rate, you will not find this package even in US at this price, even on eBay. That's how good of a deal I got. So I'm very happy. The guy is very happy. I actually just got him some extra business. Even if he makes like a couple $100 of it, I'll be happy. So this is how the drone community operates in Ukraine. I already shared his contact with the volunteers I know. So I said, I told him, I'm like, he actually has hotel drones. He can bring them. So if you need more hotel drones, I don't have any more, you can contact this guy. So we share each other's information within these communities. So it's basically everybody helping everybody. That's how it works. And I just checked out his page, and he actually had a call to action about a month after the war started. He said, you know what I'm gonna do? I called all my friends, and they donated a lot of money. We bought a ton of drones, and we sent them all to the front. So basically what I'm doing, except he was more successful at it. So like if I was able to send basically like, I think 7 drones so far, I think he sent like 30 drones himself so far to the front. But everybody's doing what we can, and we do it the best to our abilities. And yeah, so more to come. If I'm able to to fly the drone in the mountains today, I'll add that footage later to the next video. So thank you guys for watching. Please support Ukraine. My links are in the description. If you want to buy a drone for the Ukrainian military, I actually, because I met this guy, I can buy him here at cost and send them directly to Ukrainian military. It'd be within like, turnaround will be no longer in weeks when I order them from US, but it's going to be several days. So from the time I get the money, several days, and the drones are at the front. I will tell you right now, the minimum price for a drone, I hate to say it, but if you want like personally to send the money so I can buy the drone, the minimal price for a drone I can probably buy, even if it's a Mini 2, is right around like $500-600. So that's how much it takes to get the minimum drone. If you want something like really good, like a Mini 3 or a Hotel Evo Nano Plus, Hotel Evo Lite Plus, Mavic 3, you know how much those prices are in the US. I can get them now for probably the same prices here. One thing he did tell me, he can get the Hotel Evo thermal drone, so Hotel Evo Enterprise Rugged Bundle. I don't know if he lied or not, but I told him, like, yeah, in the US it's like 10 grand. He's like, I can get you one here tomorrow or in like 2 days for 8 grand. I'm like, holy crap, I might have to buy one from you. So I'm actually like, this trip turned out very productive. I hope it stays that way. I hope we win the war soon. So I hope it's not going to be like a prolonged war. And, you know, Slava to Ukraine. We will be victorious, and there will be once again peace in the world. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you for being a subscriber to my channel. Leave a like for this video so it can shoot up in ranks. Share with your friends, and let's all pray for peace in Ukraine and no more civilian casualties. See you guys later.